On February 24, 2020, a frantic emergency call came out of Winter Park, Florida. On the line was Sarah Boone, claiming her boyfriend, Jorge Torres, had died in a tragic, unthinkable accident. Sarah gave the dispatcher a specific sequence of events. She and Jorge had spent the previous evening drinking wine and painting. As the night went on, they decided to play a game of hide-and-seek. Jorge climbed inside a large blue suitcase, and Sarah zipped it up, leaving a small gap for his fingers so he could breathe. When police arrived at the apartment, the physical evidence was immediately at odds with a harmless game. Officers found Jorge dead inside the luggage, showing signs of blunt force trauma and a heavily bruised lip. Despite the state of the body, Sarah stuck to her script. To the responding officers, she presented herself as a devastated girlfriend, struggling to comprehend a freak accident. This composure remained intact at the police station. Inside a freezing cold interrogation room, Sarah's demeanor was remarkably collected. She repeated her story. It was a joke gone wrong. She claimed that after zipping the bag, she went upstairs to sleep, assuming Jorge would get himself out. When she woke up and found him missing from the bed, she went downstairs to find the suitcase exactly where she left it. Detectives were left with a jarring contradiction. A woman sitting in an interrogation room with a body in her house, yet speaking with the unshakable confidence of someone who believed she had done nothing wrong. Her posture suggested something beyond a standard legal defense. She appeared to inhabit her story completely, projecting the image of a grieving partner rather than a suspect hiding a secret. While Sarah maintained this front in the interview room, a separate investigation was happening quietly behind the scenes. Detectives were extracting the raw data from her smartphone. This behavior is driven by cognitive dissonance, forcing conflicting ideas into a less painful narrative. In toxic relationships, this creates a protective filter. It blocks out damning facts, allowing a person to view themselves as a righteous victim, regardless of their conduct. Sarah's defensive barrier was strong, but the digital forensics team had just recovered the evidence that would test its limits. Human memory is susceptible to these mental filters. Digital data is not. A smartphone only records the objective facts of the night. The tone of the interrogation changed when the detectives walked back into the room and placed a laptop on the table in front of Sarah. They played 2 videos recovered from her camera roll. The footage proved Sarah didn't go upstairs to sleep. Instead, as Jorge struggled to escape, she pulled out her phone and hit record. In the videos, the suitcase thrashes on the floor. Jorge is heard desperately begging for his life, screaming that he cannot breathe. Sarah stands over the luggage, laughing and taunting him as he suffocates. She explicitly used his physical helplessness as a form of payback. On the tape, she tells him, "For everything you've done to me, that's what you get," citing his alleged past cheating as her justification. The footage provided the one thing her interrogation lacked: a record of her actual intent. It captured a lethal assertion of dominance, not an accident. As Sarah watches the playback, objective reality finally forces its way through her narrative. Her claims of a game gone wrong were destroyed by her own recordings. Detectives arrested Sarah Boone on the spot, charging her with second-degree murder. Even facing this evidence, Sarah struggled against legal reality. Cycling through multiple lawyers and delaying her trial for years, she rejected any version labeling her a perpetrator. She eventually settled on a battered spouse syndrome defense, reframing the event to fit a victim narrative. The Boone case stands as a study of how extreme psychological denial can fuel the escalation of a toxic relationship until it reaches a terminal point. The videos on Sarah's phone provided a permanent record of what happened in that living room and a window into a person who felt entirely justified in the moment of the act. What do you make of Sarah's defense? Let me know below. Click here to see another killer's digital footprint become their downfall. Stay safe.